Hi there, I'm Kirsten Powell Williams from Girl Scouts of Maine. This activity is part of our Green Me Up virtual celebration. We're going to be highlighting sustainability, getting outdoors, using resources wisely, and having a positive impact on the environment. Today, we will help you reduce your need for plastic by making reusable bags out of t-shirts. This activity should take about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the style of the bag that you choose to make. For the activity, you will need an old t-shirt. It should be anywhere from a youth size medium to about an adult large. Any larger than that and your bag will really be too big because they will stretch. You'll need a pair of scissors and a small safety pin if you're doing the drawstring style bag. All right, let's get started. Did you know that Maine will be banning single-use plastic bags? This bill was supposed to go into effect on Earth Day in 2020, but it has been postponed to January 15th of 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So you might be wondering, what is a single-use plastic bag? They're defined as being a thickness of 3 mils or less. What does that mean? Think about the bags that you get at the grocery store or at Walmart. Those are single-use plastic bags. The thicker bags that you might purchase are considered reusable because they do not break down as easily and can be used repeatedly. Single-use plastic bags are used on average for only 12 minutes, and then they're thrown away. From there, they can harm the environment, plants, and animals. In fact, the entire life cycle of a plastic bag is bad for the environment. From being made from petroleum to never actually biodegrading, single-use plastic bags are bad news for the earth. The good news is that we can make an impact on the number of plastic bags being used. We can decide to use reusable bags and not use plastic. Today, we're going to make our own reusable bags so that we can make the world a better place by taking care of our environment. There are 2 different styles I'll show you today. I'll show you how to make each of them, and then you can decide which one you would like to make. Or you can get a couple shirts and try them both and give some away. The first style involves tying knots at the bottom to create a fringe along the bottom of the bag. The second style uses a drawstring to close up the bottom of the bag. The start of each bag is the same. First, you're going to lay out your shirt on a flat, hard surface. Then you're going to cut the sleeves off of your shirt. You're going to want to cut along the inside of the sleeve seam. You'll do this for each of the sleeves. Apparently, I need sharper scissors. Then you're going to cut along the neck. This will make the opening of your bag. Now, I'll show you how to make the bag with the fringe on the bottom. You're going to take your shirt and lay it out flat. You're going to want to determine how deep you want your bag to be. If your shirt is smaller, then you can simply cut the fringe at the bottom. If your shirt is really long, you might need to cut part of the bottom off and then start making your fringe. Remember, your shirt will stretch once you start putting things inside. So now you're going to cut your fringe. You're going to want to cut the top and the bottom at the same time so that the fringe matches up. You're going to cut fringe that's about 1 inch thick and about 3 inches long. So you start cutting, and you do that the whole length across your shirt. Once you've cut your fringe all the way across the bottom of your shirt, then you simply take the 2 layers that are top and bottom of each other, and you tie them together. You're going to want to try and tie them as tightly as possible, because that is going to make so that you don't have as many holes in the bottom of your bag. And you'll do that all the way across the bottom of your bag. Once you've gone along the entire bottom of your shirt, if you'd like to make the bag a little bit stronger, you simply take 2 of the fringe pieces that are right next to each other and tie them together. That will help make them stronger, as well as make any holes that are in the bottom of that bag a little smaller as well. So then you can simply take that fringe and go along the bottom, just like you did before, but tying the ends of 2 of the fringes together. This process isn't necessarily an exact process. You don't have to worry about getting just the right pieces of fringe together. In the end, as long as things are tied together, then it'll hold up pretty well. So you'll do that all the way across. And in the end, you will have your reusable bag. Just like that. Now I'll show you how to make the second bag. Much like with the first bag, you'll start off by cutting off the sleeves and the neck. Then you're going to want to make sure, actually, before you do that, you're going to want to make sure that you have a t-shirt that has a nice hem along the bottom, because that's what's going to be how you make that drawstring. So once you have your sleeves and neck cut off, then you're going to make the drawstring. To make the drawstring, you're going to take your old sleeve and simply cut about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick band all the way around the top of that sleeve. And then that will give you a loop like this. Then just take your scissors and cut that loop so that you end up with a cord. Give that cord a good stretch. That's going to stretch it out and also make it so it doesn't fray. Take your safety pin and pin it through your cord like this. Then take your scissors and you're going to cut a small slit in the bottom of the hem of your shirt so that you can see a little kind of loop going around your shirt. You don't want to cut too far up, because then that will cut into your shirt and making a hole in your bag. So only cut up to that little seam on the shirt to make the hem. Then taking your cord, you're going to slide the safety pin into the hole that you just created. Now, you're going to want to make sure that this end does not go through the hole that you just made, because then you'll lose the end of your cord. But you'll just kind of slide it through. The first part's the trickiest part, is just getting it in there. And then You bunch it up and then pull it through. Bunch it up, pull it through. You'll do that so that you go all the way around the shirt. So then you end up with, at both ends of the slit that you just made, one end and then the other end of the cord. All right, so then once you have it all the way through, you'll have two ends of cord on either, so that it's on either side. You're then simply going to take the cord and try and pull it as tight as you can. The tighter you can make it, the smaller the hole will be at the bottom of your bag. So just work that through a little bit. And once you have it the size that you want, take your pin off and tie in a knot. Now, if you find that the hole is too big, there's some ways around it. You can take it out and cut a little slit on the opposite side, and then do two different loops so that you have one cord this way, one cord that way. That will make each hole a little bit smaller, and then you have two. Or you can simply just either work it a little smaller, or if you really want to do a little bit of sewing, just tack it together a little bit. So then your bag will look like this. If you enjoyed this activity, you might also like some of the other GSME Green Me Up Goes Virtual activities, as well as our Using Resources Wisely series and our Make the World a Better Place series. Thanks for trying this activity with me today. I hope you get a chance to make a whole bunch of reusable bags and share them with all your friends, so that we can cut down on the number of plastic bags that we use. You can find more fun activities on the girlscoutsofmaine.org page on our Girl Scouts at Home page. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.